And now we have some forms violations. I'm going to double click on that. So the first one is buttons must have content. And it says button elements must have text content. If we go to the details, we can see which element it's talking about by clicking on the element and going to inspect element. And it looks like it's the search form submit. So let's solve this problem. I'm here in Firefox and I'm going to right click this element and select edit as HTML. And I'm going to put in search inside of the button attribute here. And I'll hit Control Enter or Command Enter in order to submit our change to the HTML. So now we see our text. What we want to do is hide this text. So I'm going to adjust the styles of this element. First, what I'm going to do is limit the width. So let's set the width to, let's say, 30 pixels. Okay, that's about the size that we need in order to show just the magnifying glass. Next, what we need to do is hide the overflow. So we'll set the overflow attribute to hidden, okay? And that gets us pretty close, but we can still see a little bit of the text there. We should be able to knock that out by setting the line height to a little bit bigger than what we have it now. Let's try setting it to 20 pixels. Okay, that looks pretty good, but the magnifying glass isn't quite centered. So I'm gonna bump that up a little bit until we get that centered. Okay, so now we've solved this problem. We now have some text inside of our button, but we're not actually seeing it if we're using the visual interface. Let's make this final by adding our CSS to our search form Sass file. So I'm going to go back to our editor. I'm going to pull up our search form. Okay, so this is our searchform.scss file, and I'll go back to Firefox. It looks like the class we want is search form submit. So this is the one we want right here. So now I'm going to add our styles. So we're setting the width to 30 pixels, but I think this needs to be relative. So I'm going to run it through px2rem and then run 30 through that. We'll set the overflow to hidden, and we'll set the line height to a relative 24 pixels. So we'll run that through the px2rem function as well. Okay, we'll save that. And then we also need to add the search text to our element. So I'm going to jump over to our index.html file, and we'll scroll down to our search form. Here's our button, and we'll add search into the button text. We'll save it, jump back to Firefox and refresh. And it looks like we've knocked out that validation.